So according to you, out of 100, what is a score that student can do if he only studies from the chemistry NCERT booklet?
For all three?
You can say a rough score out
80.
of 100. What were the things you liked in that journey with the askIITians?
For CBSE and for JEE Mains and JEE Advanced in general, chemistry, you need not have a very in-depth knowledge of chemistry, especially for organic chemistry, why everything is happening the way it is. So in JEE Mains, and my marks were, I guess the percentile was 99.988 in maths, 99.67 in chemistry and 99.85 in physics.
कुछ खेलते हो आप? Basically you are into sports.
Used to play badminton. I played badminton from grade 2 to grade 10.
I just wanted to understand what is your strategy?
In my journey, the most important thing was giving tests. I gave almost 60-70 tests, both mains and advanced milake.
How do students manage both school as well as competitive exam preparation?
So first of all, whatever I was learning in the classes, it was very similar to, in fact it was almost the same as that of school.
So how many hours you used to sleep usually?
4 hours in the night, and then I used to come back and then I used to feel sleepy, so 2-3 hours in the morning.
6 to 7 hours on an average. Your teacher X is your favorite teacher. He is giving you classes online, and let's say same teacher you have an option to attend offline. What will be your preference?
5 days a week online, 2 days a week offline.
A lot of students are getting distracted.
In my opinion, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can stay connected with friends. It's a means of correctness. As for getting distracted, it's mostly like reels and shorts that you keep scrolling for a long time.
Hi everyone. So today is a very auspicious day for us. Reason being, today we have a very special guest among us, Apratim, who is one of the gem of a student we have in askIITians, who has scored 99.97 percentile in JEE Mains first attempt. And in today's discussion, we are going to discuss about his entire journey, which can definitely become a role model for a lot of students who are aspiring for competitive examinations, whether it is JEE Mains, Advanced, and many more. But yes, the more we focus on one's entire journey, we get to know basically where exactly we are standing right now, what are the steps we need to take. Of course, it should not be same for everyone. Everyone has their own forte. But yes, we can learn from who has achieved something. And this is at a very nascent stage, I would say. But yes, we can take it as an inspiration. And this podcast, or I would say this interview, is definitely going to help millions of students. And he's a true inspiration in many ways, being that he's very focused, very determined from the day one itself only. Normally, with majority of the students, it is one of the major challenge that everyone faces. Everyone has aspirations, but how to achieve it is something basically they need guidance, and that's where askIITians comes into picture. askIITians is one of the pioneer, I would say, live online classes coaching institute who has been helping the students from past 16 years, I would say. And this is a very, you can say, auspicious moment for us that one of our student, specifically from India, has been among the top performers across India. So today we have Apratim. Apratim, thank you very much for joining us. Of course, we have been interacting online and you have been studying with us online. But this is a very rare occasion where basically we sit face to face and discuss. And this particular interview, or you can say the discussion, is all about your journey. So thank you very much for coming in such a short notice.
So welcome Apratim, right? So probably first of all, before we start, I will first introduce, so he's Mr. Satish. He's the CEO of askIITians. Myself being Harsh Patodia. I am Chief Academic Officer and the Global Academic Head. And we have our gem and superstar Apratim Tewari. So over to you, Apratim. I would want you now to introduce yourself to our viewers. Tell about your inspirational journey, when it started, how you get along, and how you achieved this milestone. So just throw some light on yourself and your journey to begin with.
I'm Apratim Tewari. I am from Lucknow, India, and I joined askIITians in class 9. That was back in 2021. At that time, we had the COVID second wave. And so obviously, I couldn't go outside the house, not at all. So we were looking for some place I could learn online only. apart from school, and so we came across askIITians and I joined that. And then initially it was more like just to learn about stuff, and mostly probably board focused a little bit class 10th to help with my schooling. But like as I said, in class 9th and class 10th, it was more of a foundation kind of course where I learned about prerequisites for JEE prep essentially, apart from the board stuff. Then in late class 10th, I also started taking one-on-one sessions for maths, physics, and chemistry to for like JEE oriented, and then I had to give NSEJS also that year. So for that, I started taking sessions, and then that kind of early start, it helped ease me into the transition from 10th to 11th for JEE prep.
And what about your, although we have mentioned your percentile in JEE Main, but can you give the breakup to our viewers, like how exactly it is distributed in maths, physics, chemistry, and your overall percentile distribution?
So in JEE mains, I think my shift was 28 shift 2, and my marks were 80 in chemistry, 86 in physics, and 92 in maths. So I guess the percentile was 99.988 in maths,
Okay.
99.67 in chemistry, and 99.85 in physics.
All right. So in next attempt, yeah, you would want to work on chemistry, right?
Yeah, probably. And apart from that, I also gave NSEA, NSEC, NSEP this year, and I've qualified in all three for the Indian National Olympiads.
Congratulations on that as well.
And apart from that, I also both in 11th and 12th, I sat for online physics competitions, like you have physics brawl online, and then you have online physics Olympiad OPHO. Then you have physics cup, which I didn't sit for, but hopefully in college.
Perfect. So what were the things, like, so to our viewers, like you would want to advise, like before we start preparing for JEE? So 10th you started, little, I would say, early in terms of preparing actually for JEE Main. Although your foundation was being developed from grade 9th, you were already ahead of the things. But when you start choosing any field, like, so what things you kept in your mind before you went ahead with this stream?
Since grade 9th, with askIITians, mostly chemistry and maths that were taught to us in grade 9th were mostly board level. But physics, our teacher Himanshu sir, he was a really great teacher, and he kind of made me really interested in the subject. So physics I was really interested in, but then we also had biology classes. I didn't used to pay much attention, but it seemed boring to me.
All right. And what about maths?
Maths, it's become really interesting in recent years, especially in grade 12th. Before that, I never sat for any mathematics Olympiad. Like I've sat for NSEA, NSEP, both in 11th and 12th. I never sat for IOQM. I don't know why, but it's been like a trend.
All right.
Till grade 10th, I never sat for it, and then I decided कि अब क्या ही बैठेंगे, छोड़ो उसको.
All right. So what were the top 5 things you liked in that journey with the askIITians? Or maybe top 3, whatever you can mention from your side.
Definitely, you have the one-on-one sessions. The teachers, when you interact with them, like face to face, even in real life, like in the residential program or even online. When it's not in class, you can discuss. Like, of course, the studies are one thing, but then they become like your friends also. Like Deepak sir, Anik sir, and Ishan sir also. They were more than they were friends, mentors, and of course, apart from being teachers, Anik sir, he taught me chemistry in a really nice way, where normally for CBSE and for JEE mains and JEE advanced in general, chemistry, you don't need not have a very in-depth knowledge of chemistry. But Anik sir, he did give me that in-depth knowledge, and especially for organic chemistry, why everything is happening the way it is, where all the reaction mechanisms, when they have multiple paths to go, why do they choose one path? So things like that. It was I think it was last year in the August to November period and December period.
All right. Good. And what are the do's and don'ts for the students who are preparing? Like, what things you will suggest them not to, follow while preparing in these 2 years? Because there are a lot of mistakes that you might have done. You might have learned from that. So, if you can throw some light so that other people, out there can at least, take prevention before doing those things.
Syllabus completion, this thing ki, ha, you need to complete the syllabus as early as possible.
That's a myth.
And then once you if your exam is in January for JEE mains or May for JEE advanced, you need to complete the syllabus by August. You need to complete it by July. If you don't complete it for you can just study everything once, not like in a very rigorous manner, and then you say ki in a way syllabus is completed when you yourself know it's not actually completed. So when you're actually revising it, then also you'll be learning, you'll be completing the syllabus. So as long as you study everything thoroughly and in a well structured manner, syllabus completion doesn't really matter. Of course, you don't have to complete the syllabus the day before the exams, but not like very early either. So
Okay.
it's completely up to you how quickly you are able to learn stuff and go forward. For me in 11th, things were a little bit slow. So by the time it was Jan of 2024, when I was moving to 12th, there were still a few topics that I wasn't fully confident in. But then in 12th, I was able to cover those topics up pretty quickly. And I don't have any mistakes as such. I just enjoyed my preparation. I should have focused a little bit more on chemistry maybe, but I'll do that for advanced.
So I have a very interesting question for you because you are definitely a nerd when it comes to basically studies. So, but yes, majority of our parents to whom we interact on day-to-day basis during the counseling, we keep on emphasizing on some physical activities, some extracurricular activities. So, would like to know, apart from studying, what exactly do you do, just to basically get your focus again back to the studies?
I
Because
go to school.
you go to school. Okay.
That
Apart from that,
diverts.
कुछ खेलते हो आप? Basically, you're into
I
sports.
used to play badminton. I played badminton from grade 2 to grade 10, but then I didn't continue it. But to as you said, to get my brain off of stuff, I have lots of friends. I talk to them, and then I also go to school, so that's a new environment that helps divert my brain.
So now, then again, an interesting question for you because a lot of students says that, or a lot of parents keep on asking us that how do students manage both school as well as competitive exam preparation, because you only have 24 hours, you have to spend some time in school, sleep time, then time management plays a very crucial role. So how is your time management? How you manage that?
So first of all, whatever I was learning in the classes, it was very similar to, in fact, it was almost the same as that of school, except English. But since I had done my 10th from ICSE, so CBSE English was a little bit easy for me. So I didn't really concentrate on English. It was mostly last 2-3 days before exams, I used to study English. Hopefully, I can do that for boards as well. I don't know.
So 11th, what subjects you have opted for along with PCM?
PCM, English, and Fine Arts.
Fine arts. Why fine arts? A lot of students goes for CS or some other subjects. So
Fine Arts, mostly it was a greed for marks because in Fine Arts you have 70 marks for practicals itself, and then 30 marks theory paper.
so strategically you have played well there.
Yes, because 30 marks for theory paper, and plus the syllabus is not as vast as physical education. I could have gone for CS because I had CS in class 10th, but then again 70 marks for practical. That's
So basically you completed your schooling from ICSE board till 10th, and then followed by that you moved to CBSE board, right? Why is it so? Why didn't you continue with the ICSE board?
First of all, the school that I was in, City Montessori School, that was a very rigorous school. So if I had continued, I probably would not have been able to manage this askIITians and this school simultaneously. Plus, CBSE syllabus, in my opinion, is a little bit more aligned with these competitive exams like JEE and all that. ICSE syllabus can get a little bit unnerving because in that you have English, and our school had a compulsory PED. So in English you had Macbeth, and other like ICSE English in general is it's not a little bit, quite a bit more intriguing
Challenging.
than CBSE English. And apart from that, in the school that I joined later on, in for my 11th and 12th, the teachers are also pretty good. They allow you to, like, in the free periods, I used to go to the library and study. In even the games period, I used to go, study. Not study. I used to solve questions, because studying when you have people around you is a little bit difficult. Solving questions, on the other hand, it's not. It's like 4 minutes of focus and then 1 minute of a minute of not a minute, 30 seconds of enjoyment if you get it correct.
How much time do you basically allocate for the self-study part? Because that is what I strongly believe is the most crucial part for any competitive exam preparation.
Most of, like, self study, it's basically solving questions, and most of my prep was solving questions only. The theory, especially in maths, the theory was very less. At least for me, I did not have any. I still do not have any comprehensive notes for mathematics. It's just whatever I know is in my head. That's it. And for physics, I do have notes, but in notes also, it's like pretty short notes. Nothing of. That's also one of the reasons why my physics takes slightly longer time, because sometimes I have to derive the formula in the exam hall itself, and that becomes a little tedious and time taking. So as of now, I do not have any, like, full comprehensive notes in mathematics and physics that I made by myself. It's mostly questions. Whatever good questions I encounter, I just note them down. That's it.
And in
And
chemistry?
in chemistry, for organic chemistry, I did make notes, but then I kind of slacked off a little bit, and that's another reason why my chemistry is a bit weak. I will have to focus on that. For notes, as for mains, NCERT is the notes that you're gonna need. Uh, but then, like, advance is coming up, so for that I will have to probably make short notes with all the important reactions and stuff, all the important pointers. And physical chem is also not that big a deal. It's mostly practice.
So as you mentioned, like, about the NCERT being one of the recommended books, so a lot of people have apprehension around this. So let's say out of 100 marks, if a student is only focusing on NCERT chemistry, so according to your experience, because we have been telling this to the users and our students, but when it comes from the person, who has done it, it provides a validation. So according to you, out of 100, what is a score that student can do if he only studies from the chemistry NCERT booklet?
For all three, physical, inorganic, organic, all three.
You can say a rough score out of
80.
100. 80 marks a student can score by just doing NCERT.
Yes.
So this is very, very important information for our users. We have been telling this, since the beginning. And every year when we are sitting with the students who have done or achieved this fate, we are actually re-releasing it again and again, that for chemistry, if you follow NCERT thoroughly, you will sail through it. Obviously, as per his experience, 80 is manageable, but we as experts, we are always recommending that 50 to 60 marks we can easily score if we are just relying on NCERT and following a good test series. Obviously, to get your score towards 80 plus, 90 plus, you require additional thing. But yeah, this is a very good put forward by Apratim.
So I have a very common questions which a lot of parents basically ask is, when do we actually start preparing? Because I strongly believe that 9-10th plays a very important role also, because अगर आपका 9-10th का concept strong नहीं है या foundation strong नहीं है, you ultimately struggle in grade 11th and 12th. And specifically for the students who are from CBSE board, there is a quantum leap when they move from grade 10 to grade 11th, and they keep on struggling there, and then फिर everything gets mixed up. So 11th में फिर वो focus करते हैं, फिर competitive exams की तैयारी नहीं कर पाते. What is your take on that?
Like, studying from askIITians and an ICSE board for 9th and 10th definitely eased my kind of transition from 10th to 11th. So if you have, like, a basic idea about stuff, not like really basic, like if you study, even if you study from CBSE board, and you just really concentrate on the concept. You try to understand the concepts that's there in 9th NCERT, 10th NCERT. I also studied for a little bit of the HC Verma books. They were really great for 9th and 10th. HC Verma for physics. And yeah, if you have really good understanding of the 9th and 10th topics itself, I don't think it's going to be really difficult to kind of shift, at least for J oriented stuff, from 10th to 11th.
Great. What is your inspiration? So काफ़ी students struggle करते हैं concentrate करने में. Motivation is something which they seek consistently, but motivation is something which has to come inherent, right? So what exactly motivated you and inspired you to basically be into this journey? And of course, there is a long journey ahead from this. It's just the beginning, I would say. So this is the first milestone you have achieved. Now you have bigger milestones to achieve, but in order to achieve this also you have to be consistent. You have to be सबको smart work or shortcuts tricks जानने होते हैं. I can see nowadays lot of students basically ask for tips and tricks, but I strongly believe that unless and until you do the hard work, you won't be landing to that shortcut. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just wanted to understand what is your strategy, what is your inspiration and motivation, and how important, most important thing, last but not the least, how important your family plays a crucial role in this journey.
So about the shortcuts and stuff, like in my journey, the most important thing was giving tests. I gave almost 70, 50, 60, 70 tests, both mains and advanced milake. And when you're preparing for the test, you kind of automatically have a deadline. Like whatever syllabus, like first you have part tests, and then when you have that, like it's on Sunday, and you're sitting on the week before at Monday. So you'll have like this kind of deadline ki, now I have to really study because I have this test. It's like normally people have this goal in for the JEE mains is in January, so I need to study for January. Then you don't need to study for January, you need to study for Sunday. And when you have that kind of like goal right in front of you, it automatically like pressures you to like do stuff. You do it right now. And if you perform well, then that's going to motivate you even more. Ki, let's focus on the next test now. And test is also like the best kind of, it's like a little simulation of the exam hall. So the more you can simulate something, the more you'll grow accustomed to it. And about the other part, that tips and tricks, that I don't really have any idea. For me, it was just I used to study whatever I liked, and when I did not feel like studying, I used to take walks. I used to go outside. I used to walk for like half an hour, and then I used to come back. And if I still did not feel like studying, then I probably would sleep or something.
So what we normally see that nowadays, because of this digital, or you can say social media, a lot of students are getting distracted. What is your take in this?
I think he was not in touch with social media during his journey.
Actually, I was. I use Reddit a lot in my prep. Reddit and WhatsApp, but nothing else.
So from his answer, you can judge like.
So
what
moreover,
kind of social
basically
media
the
questions
crux
you have.
of this particular question is to understand that definitely you need to stay away from social media in order to focus, because of course in our professional journey also, it's not only about students journey. When you have certain tasks in your mind which you have predefined and you have to achieve your deadlines, then you need to stay apart from the social media, and that is really going to help you.
Social media, in my opinion, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can stay connected with friends. It's a means of staying connected with other people that you know. As for getting distracted, it's mostly like reels and shorts that you keep scrolling for a long time. I don't prefer short form content. I prefer long form content. So like 30 minutes video, you can go and watch it for 30 minutes. But then you'll know that at the end of the 30 minutes, I have done this for the last 30 minutes, and then I should probably go back. With reels, it's like you don't have any end timer.
So do you look for some content on YouTube also?
Yes. Like I follow many channels like 3 Blue 1 Brown. Then there's that red pen black pen guy who teaches maths. Then you have Flammable Maths I follow, and then there's a lot of maths channels. There's a lot of mathematics topics in general that like especially integration. I grew really fond of integration during my 12th. Like there's like gamma function and beta function that's not really in the JEE syllabus, but a lot of questions you can solve a bit easily using that trick.
And coming to the last point, which probably you missed, related to your family, how crucial their contribution basically, because in all these discussions, we normally forget that they play a very important role because they sacrifice a lot and they basically um give you all sort of required things to crack this examination. And that's where basically I strongly believe that that's a very important pillar or foundation for any of the student. What is it for you?
It's like my support system. I can speak about different topics. Like with my mother, I can speak about everything. With my grandfather and father, I can speak about mostly study related issues and even other personal issues. Uh, I'm closest to my mother, and they never put pressure on me, so that's good. I have heard a lot about stories about parents pressurizing their kids. It's
Correct.
not the same with me. Of course, if I slack off a little bit with my studies, they do scold me, but it's not like they're overtly pressurizing me or anything.
So now we are hardly left with few couple of months for your final exams. So what is your strategy from here onwards?
Uh, I have a strategy till April session. That's the session 2. After that, we'll have the full. It's like a test every day. So it's mostly test analysis of the test, then tests again, and then doubts, and then like that. It's not going to be a lot of time to study. So right now, I'll just manage my boards and I'll revise everything really well once, especially chemistry that I need to revise because towards the end, before mains, I was really rushing through chemistry a lot. So I need to get everything done so that I understand it slow paced a little bit. 2 months is not slow pace for the whole syllabus, but still, since I've done everything, now I just need to revise everything. Maths, I'll focus a little bit less on for right now, mostly physics and chemistry because I need to get that so the I can solve questions quickly in the exam hall.
So one question, like like every student has got some role model, like in terms of maybe their teachers, parents, peer group, family members. It can be anyone. So did you have any role model who you always look forward and that kept you inspiring for studying, and or was it just you and your
I don't have a role model in general, but my teachers always inspire me because if they're taking that amount of stress and they're like putting in the efforts to teach me something, then I should definitely learn it because and then I should also provide them with like some kind of satisfaction that everybody gets a satisfaction. Like if I'm trying to teach my brother something and he learns that and he applies that really well, then I'll be satisfied and I'll be happy. So my teachers are kind of my inspiration, but role model, uh, uh, I don't really.
It's okay. It's okay. Like you don't have to forcefully, bring someone. Yeah, that. But that is good. Like your journey and can be inspiring for so many, people. And as far as I have worked with the teachers and him, okay. So as we were talking about the mistakes and all, so it was even hard for the teachers, to find out where he is going wrong, because as he mentioned, like he had that obligation is in his mind that whatever teachers have told, so next day he will do it. Even in residential program when we were there, so during the night time, if some questions and things were given, like these guys were always on it. Like okay, morning में चाहे रात को 12 बजे, we are ending, still they will study. Morning 8-9 o'clock से classes हैं या जो भी schedule follow करना है. तो it was very difficult for us also to guide him. Whatever like he was doing, almost to the perfection. And as a student, like we
So
are glad to
technically,
have
Harsh sir, आप ये कह रहे हैं that you had an ideal
ideal
student from the
जैसे
day one.
we talk about ideal gases, right? But we had the ideal student. Almost I would say, definitely there were certain things like chemistry. We have been asking him from the beginning कि भाई chemistry focus कर लो, right? And I think now after exam, like he is also on the similar pace that he will work little bit on that. But that is not his fault. But whatever he enjoys, he does it, to his best of his abilities.
So one thing basically what I have observed, because there are a lot of coaching institutes, lot of study material, test series, everything is there. Specifically with askIITians, when I personally look into the overall journey of a student, some students basically excel, some students may not excel, some are still struggling. उसमें मुझे जो common element with Apratim which I can experience is that he was very peculiar about the test, and that is what one of the major element which lot of students are scared of during their preparation. वो सोचते हैं कि पहले complete कर लें, then फिर test देंगे, and that's where probably they are lagging behind, because once you start giving it, you will get to know where do you stand, and followed by that, once you get to know your weak areas, you can work on that. And that's what he did over the period of time, and without hesitating to give this test. Do you have any say for the students related to the approach they have nowadays?
So yeah, one thing which he mentioned, like we should not just look at JEE main January attempt. If I make sure that every Sunday is my January attempt or the April attempt, it will keep us motivated. Because most of the students, they will give paper under the pressure of the parents, teachers, without even completing the syllabus. And then when
But that does that really help?
not at all. Like it is like putting additional pressure. Like if you're not, so one thing is definitely we should not postpone the paper giving. But let's say if I'm not prepared, so I should have a timeline. What people will do? Okay, this Sunday they had chapter 1, 2, 3. If that is not done, they'll move to the next thing without giving, and then even 4, 5, 6. Then it becomes a habit. So if I have not done 1, 2, 3 this Sunday, I should make sure that in next 2, 3, 4 days, before doing that, we should not move forward. Which most of the students, they realize in grade 12th. Like in 11th, they will keep on postponing the stuff, and by the end of grade 11, they will realize there is a lot to learn. Okay, and then in 12th, it becomes a double thing. Like 11th भी करना है, 12th भी करना है, boards भी हैं, practicals भी हैं. तो इसलिए right from the beginning, if we make sure that whatever test that we are giving, we are preparing that as a final exam, so it can help reduce a lot of stress towards the second half of the journey. So that is one important thing, and rest, I think, following teachers. So many students, what they will do, one thing here, 2 things from there, 10 things from. So if you don't have that good decision making, they end up in making bad choices. With Apratim, this was a very good thing that he had that sense of right wrong thing while picking up the stuff and all, and that we always encouraged him, that whatever, he was always taking the suggestions from the teachers also to whether whenever he is doing. So we were very open, like okay, if you're following this, good, like you can, because his mindset
So basically, sorry interrupting you in between. So basically, you're saying that whatever the stuff he's following, इसमें कोई ऐसा नहीं था कि आपको यही follow करना है. You can follow other books also, other content also, overall जहाँ पे basically he's comfortable.
as long as the student is fulfilling the one thing, like let's say if I've given him the material and he's completing that, and he's, let's say, getting on top of it, then we are free to go anywhere. But what students will do, they will not complete one stuff, they will hop and hop, which doesn't help. If you're completing one step, and with him, like the approach was not just exam centric, it was knowledge driven. He always tried for gaining the excellence in terms of conceptual understanding. कभी भी गोल ये नहीं होता था कि मुझे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना है, इसलिए कॉन्सेप्ट आई हैव टू लर्न. सो whenever like he came up with the questions, doubts and all, there was always a sense of logic involved in that. Like he was more focused on conceptual understanding. तो ऐसे बच्चों के लिए तो it is always advisable कि हाँ, like if you're following even at research level and you're managing your time so well, then it is not of any harm. But yeah, if I am skipping one module, then even if I'm doing 10 modules partly, that doesn't help. So do multiple things, but make sure you're following one thing 100%.
Got it. So Apratim, very important question again, because we are living in digital era. It's not related to social media, but a lot of content nowadays are available over YouTube. Then you have a lot of educational apps, like we have our own content, like we have other competitors also who has very good content available at their disposal. So कैसे डिसाइड किया कि कौन सा आपको कंज्यूम करना है, किस हद तक कंज्यूम करना है? हाउ डू यू बेसिकली बैलेंस दैट? Because when you have a lot of things available at your disposal, you often get confused.
As I said, like even towards the end of class 10th, I was familiarizing with myself with this whole JEE journey, and at that time I used to sample all of these channels on YouTube and all of these teachers that are there and all of this content, and then at the 11th beginning only I was able to sort out ki which of these are I actually enjoy and which of these are actually relevant. They're relevant and they're important, like not important. They're like you realize if you watch enough. And then I asked my teachers also, and so whatever, like a few channels they said ki they these guys, they're like actually teaching you stuff that you should learn a little bit. Then I used to follow those people a bit on YouTube. For example, if I'm feeling a little bit behind in some topic, and I feel like if I'll schedule a doubt session, it'll take an hour, and then again I need to learn it right now, and not like if I schedule a doubt session, it'll be tomorrow. And if I felt like I couldn't wait until tomorrow, then I would just look it up. And I had these few channels, like 3-4 channels on the list, and then I would use them only.
Great. So I would like to, for just our students who are actually now aspiring the journey which you have been so far right now. So can you please help me with your day-to-day routine, basically what exactly your day-to-day routine is all about? Because it is one of the crucial factor for the time management, and it is something which a lot of students wants to, because everyone has their own body clock and their own way of studying. What is your way of studying?
I just study whenever I want to. I don't have any
Fixed schedule.
yes.
Let's talk about your daily, like let's say time wise. Okay, this is the preferable timing of sleeping. When do you get up? Do you prefer studying in night or in morning? Because one question which most of the students will ask, okay, is it advisable to study in night or early in the morning?
So 11th, like I I also used to study in the night, but then I did kind of realized towards the end that maybe night wasn't the most productive time to study, because I always felt I was more productive when perhaps I was doing it in the evening. Like I studied for 2 hours, and then I used to go downstairs and interact with the family, and then I used to come back and study. So evening was perhaps the best time for me. And so like I in 11th starting, 11th mid also, I used to study all this till 4-5 a.m. also sometimes in the night.
Okay.
But then I reduced this, and
So how many hours you used to sleep usually?
In 11th, like in that time, 4 hours in the night, and then I used to come back, and then I used to feel sleepy, so 2-3 hours in the morning.
6 to 7 hours on an average.
But then like sleeping in 2 parts, it became a little bit tedious, kind of hectic, and it was very draining. So I switched the routine, and now max to max I sleep till 1-2 in the night, and then I wake up at 8-9.
So you are now having that continuous sleep of 6 to 7 hours in one go.
Yes, in one go.
And then after that, what is your routine like? Let's say you get up in the morning.
If I'm not gonna go to school, then I start with either maths or physics.
Okay.
I take up that, and then in evening I probably take up a little bit of chemistry.
So after 8-9, you directly get up in evening. Nothing in between.
No, like there's lunch and there's a little bit here and there.
So let's say if you start studying at 8 o'clock in the morning, till what time you are able to stretch it up?
In one go, like I probably just study for like 1 hour or 2 hour, and then I go I make myself a coffee, or I like
small breaks of 10-15 minutes.
Yes.
So whatever your hobby is and all, so that probably, or maybe whatever refreshes
if
you.
If one of my friend calls me with a doubt, we discuss that doubt on the phone, and then after that again it's like 1 hour with breaks in between. Sometimes it's even lesser, sometimes it's just 30 minutes, and then either somebody disturbs me or I disturb myself.
Perfect.
So one very intrude question which I always have in my mind, and we keep on doing this research a lot, because there is a traditional way of education, and then followed by that we came into the online mode of education, and you are pursuing both. So just wanted to understand what is your take on this, because a lot of people are saying that ki, theek hai, online is for the students who are just focused, or probably those who can basically make it 100%, but for the other students the attention span is not there, the doubts basically not gets cleared, and इसलिए वो offline prefer करते हैं, right? In fact, majority of the students are now preferring offline, because of which a lot of institutes are going offline again, those who are online also. So what is your take in this? What is your best mode of preference and why?
Offline and online. Okay, so if you have like personalized guidance online, then you can go for online, because online what happens most of the time, what happened with me for perhaps a little bit, if I got interested in physics, then I would see a few videos for physics on YouTube. You have the channels that I mentioned, and then to make my notes, then I would have to go through everything again, and then it became a little bit time taking. So if you're not like short on time, then it's okay to use online resources. If you have personalized guidance, then that is pretty good online. uh, of course you must not get distracted and all that, but assuming you're not distracted, then the main point is you need to save your time as well as get kind of the maximum output out of that. If you're going offline, then it often takes a lot of time with the transportation and the waiting times, the times in between. So that those like time that is saved if you're studying online. And plus, if you like don't, if you only do the relevant stuff and you don't waste a lot of time, trying to search out that relevant stuff, and then trying to, of course, if you're trying to solve questions, that's going to happen offline only. You can't solve questions online. So that's not a problem, question solving. But studying in itself, if you're able to do it relevantly and without wasting too much time online, then online is always the better option.
So let me reframe it this way. Let's say the same teacher, let's say your teacher X is your favorite teacher. He is giving you classes online, and let's say same teacher you have an option to attend offline. What will be your preference?
5 days a week online, 2 days a week offline.
Perfect. So you will go for hybrid so that there's a physical touch as well,
Yes.
and you can save time while studying online.
Yes.
Perfect.
So I think almost we are at the end of our discussion. We got to know a lot of basically your strategies, your personal strategies. So of course, I would like to congratulate you again for your achievement. But yeah, this is just the beginning, I would say, because you have one more attempt, and followed by that, of course, we have advanced also. Um, JEE is something basically which you have decided, right? That I want to get into IITs. So, do you have any preference of IITs? That which IIT you want to get into, and what exactly you want to do in your future? So, because a lot of students basically want to become engineers, a lot of colleges, Ivy League colleges are there. So they wanted to decide that okay, which college I want to get into, and there is always a question that why this college, and followed by that, of course, we don't know 4 years down the line what exactly the technology we are going to face and where exactly we want to be. But same things might be going around your head that okay, currently this is what I have thought of, future का आगे देखेंगे, या already decided है कि क्या करना है.
I always kind of get homesick. I can get really nostalgic at times. So I prefer something nearer to my home. So that's either IIT Kanpur, IIT Roorkee, or IIT Delhi. Other colleges like you have MNIT. No, it's NIT Allahabad. I don't remember the full name.
MNIT Allahabad only.
MNIT Allahabad. And then you also have triple ITs, and yes, any one of this will do. For my degree, I'm not sure. Like I can choose amongst probably CS or mathematics and computing, perhaps.
Great.
And as for what I'll do in the future, I'll do anything. I'll just be happy. The money doesn't really matter that much as long as I'm happy.
That's good, great. So before we end up, this thing, I would just mention to my users and viewers that his journey is not a usual journey which most of the students and the teachers generally have. Like I would say, this is one of the kids on our platform, like who has been really self-motivated, and the only way we have guided him, okay, is just being that mentor, like education-wise, motivation-wise, and self-learning wise. Like Apratim has been one of the ideal candidate, which I already mentioned, right? So before we end up, like, can you just sum up like the 4 important things which users should take, like, which you attribute towards the success of this journey? Like one you mentioned about the test series. So, but there might be other factors also. So 4 things that you will advise the grade 11th students right now that they should take care that can help them achieve the fate which you have achieved just now? 4 pointers.
Tests, question solving,
Okay.
for maths and physics especially, and for chemistry, I would say even if I didn't do it, you should definitely learn NCERT and the coaching modules by heart. So that's also a very important point. And otherwise, this should suffice.
So
And
only 3
also
pointers.
to do keep it relevant. Don't do irrelevant stuff. Keep it relevant.
All right.
So thank you, Apratim, once again for being with us and bearing us for this much time, taking some valuable time for your. Of course, this is a preparation time. Boards are near, so all the best for boards as well as for again the second attempt for JEE mains, and followed by that, of course, JEE advanced. And fortunately, definitely, we are lucky to have you, because I strongly believe that it's the students who need who crack this examination. It's not the institute. We are just mentors, or you can say we guide the students. It's them who runs on that path. And uh, being a tough competition, more than 12,58,000 students are appearing for this examination, so it's not a easy cakewalk. So there is a huge amount of effort which has been put in over the period of time, and I strongly believe that the foundation has to be very strong. And this is one of the role models we have. And likewise, we have more students who has achieved a great feat. And I wish all the students all the best for their upcoming journey, and keep working hard. All the best.